Okay, Christina here to listen to some music. And today's music selection is Storytime by Nightwish. This is the second reaction on the channel to Nightwish. The first one was to Ghost Love's score. And how did that one go? Well, I loved it. And the entire Nightwish army showed up. I am so happy to have met all of them, all of you, if you're watching now. This has been really, really fun. Quite a ride. And so here we are. We're moving on to the next thing that I should be reacting to here. Thank you to General Gabriel for helping out with that recommendation. Everyone was like, just do what he says. He's got a great list. Just follow the list. I'm like, all right, you got it. I trust all of you. There were so many of you. It was so wonderful. So thank you for showing up and possibly showing up again here for this one. I can't wait. I can't wait to move on. So this is live from Wacken again in 2013. What else can I say? How about for those of you that are just joining us here, what are we doing? Why are we here? I am a professional classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor. So we talk about all the different details and aspects of this music. We all learn a little bit of something and we all have a great time. So that's what we're doing here, and just sitting back and admiring these musicians. And again, I just cannot wait to see what they present next. So let's stop waiting. Let's listen. Okay, so excited. Here we go.
I think it's time for a little story. It's definitely story time.
All right. Excellent beginning to this song. Wow. I love how she said, are you ready for some story time? I think we're ready for some story. Yeah, we're ready. Okay. Flora Jansen. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I've been listening. All the comments, all of you leaving the comments. She's so amazing. Her stage presence, her voice, and then, wow, the sort of head banging thing, hair twirling. Man, she rocks. And the leather, and I've heard she's really tall, just like, like a Viking warrior. I just love all of this. I love her vibe. I love her aesthetic and her talent. And, okay, so yeah, there are other people up on stage there too. I'm trying to get to know them as well. So I am learning that the keyboardist is the one who does a lot of the arrangements and the orchestral parts. And I saw in Ghost Love's score that weird pipe thing around the keyboards. I think I was seeing that there again, I think. Obviously the pipes are not working. It's the keyboards behind it, but again, more of that aesthetic. It's so cool and like kind of old Viking pirate kind of aesthetic. It's really, really, it works so well with this genre of symphonic metal. And I've almost heard something about that it's almost goth, like symphonic goth metal. Me, with my experience with classical music, I know about all the different eras, the different genres, and how the composers and styles all fit in. And so that part of categorizing music is really fun for me. And so learning about symphonic metal or the symphonic goth metal is just really, really fascinating for me here. All right, I'm still letting all of this soak in. I am watching this one with the lyrics this time. I don't always do that, and a lot of you already know this, that I'm one of those where I listen to the music first and then the lyrics, but I'm trying to absorb it all at the same time right now. All the sounds, there are just so many sounds, the little tinker sounds. I hope they come back throughout the piece. Again, I always look for the compositional organization of how a song like this is written, and I just so admire the work of the arranger and the writer here for these songs. So, okay, again, the excitement is taking me over here, but we're going to keep going. I'm going to back it up a little bit and keep moving on. Here we go. All right, I'm going to stop there again because we obviously went into a new section and we modulated to a new key, and she's singing up there in that more operatic voice. She's been using the more metal rock voice up to this point. And, there was a definite shift in tone here and a little bit of room there for like an orchestral interlude. There was a really big orchestral interlude in Ghost Love score. It was fantastic. But I love how they are sort of utilizing the orchestra here and there. So I heard some big brass notes at the beginning. I heard a different type of choir, more of a children's choir sound that's a little bit more straightforward and not quite as floaty, I guess is the word. If it was made up of adults singing in a certain style where they're more in a head voice and it's the tone, it really travels, where this is more straightforward and sort of like Eastern European children's chorus sound. That was the choir that I was hearing this time, and it's very appropriate. I really liked it, the usage of it here. Heard a little bit of like piccolo flourishes. Now we're in this part here where she has flipped up to her operatic head voice and really showing off her talents. Okay, I want to back up and catch this transition again because it was smooth, but it was such a tone shift where, it was like where you have one scene in a TV show or a movie and it just kind of fades into the next. It's not like handed off necessarily. It was more like a fade in and out. And I am seeing the pipe thing. It's definitely there. It's awesome. I love it. Let's go back here. Let's see. Catch this transition. No, I didn't go back far enough. But I'm just so into it. I was just not even. Oh, I'm just getting lost in this. Okay, I'm gonna go back even further. We have to hear more of the transition. All right. Okay. Try it again. Wow. Ooh, I definitely got chills a couple times there right towards the end. There were just a few moments where the energy from Floor was just really just in your face. Like every breath that she was taking to sing every one of those notes, like you felt like you were taking a breath with her. And then she just hits those high notes. She just floats up there and hits them just like nothing, and switches from that head voice to the chest voice, and just, wow. She really is outstanding. I also can't help but notice how much fun everybody on stage is having. The blonde guy, again, I'm learning all the different band members, so I apologize. We're getting there. Just outright, the biggest smile, and he was just like, yeah, and the faces of the audience too. This communication, this relationship that they have, the connection that the musicians have on stage with the audience is it's so strong. Okay, so I'm hearing Peter Pan. I am the crib of Peter Pan, something like that. So we're talking about like maybe the innocence of children and our imagination. Is that Imaginarium? Is that what I'm seeing on there? So maybe that's what we're talking about, is just the innocence of our imagination and our youth. But also it's a little bit dark and scary. And I guess sometimes our imaginations can be that way, kind of run away with us, or if you're afraid of monsters under your bed or whatever when you're a kid, we've all been there. So I can see how this song might represent that. And then there's sort of that calm moment in the middle. So this song is sort of like an A, B, A. So 2 A sections that are sort of the same, and then the separate B section in the middle. And the B section in the middle was sort of more relaxed and almost like dreamy, but also still leaving room a little bit for kind of, the nightmarish almost situation, like maybe a dream that's about to switch to a nightmare. I don't know. But the upbeat feel of the A sections, it just grabs you. It's really, really catchy and full of energy, and still the interjection of the orchestral instruments was really, really fantastic. And I mentioned the children's chorus, so I'm pretty sure that is a youth chorus of some kind sing it, which makes complete sense since we're talking about imagination and Peter Pan. I did hear, wait, there's something about a man-child? Yeah, so it's about kids, or remembering when you're a kid, or not wanting to grow up, or, something along that line. So the children's chorus completely makes sense. The upbeat energy completely makes sense. And the lyrics are really, really, they're delicious. Something about a kite in the blue sky, and the crib, again, that I'm the crib of Peter Pan, and, Never Neverland, and just really, really cool concepts here. But wow, I saw this a lot in the comments, and I agree that she is a complete goddess, a Valkyrie, right? Love watching her perform. And I'm also paying more attention, like I said, to the rest of the band, so we will get to know them. Anyone in the comments, please feel free to keep introducing me more and more to the other members of the band. It's not all about Floor, even though she's wonderful, but she's not the only one up there. Also, the orchestra apparently is the London Phil, which is awesome. So I was commenting in Ghost Love's score about how wonderful the orchestration was, and how good it sounded that they weren't, the musicians weren't there on stage. So, it was, the recording was being piped in, but it was such a really high quality recording, and now we know why. So I just want to go back a little bit and just kind of experience some of this again. Just that little interjection, so cool, with the piccolo, and yeah, awesome. Well, it might have been piccolo and flute doubled. Oh, I just keep watching. There's more I want to talk about, but it's just so captivating. So there's also something about the tone of her voice. It's so lovely. It's just pleasing. And that is the natural tone of her singing voice. And she's able to utilize that in this rock tone right here, this chest voice that she's singing in. And then when she shifts up more operatic, it's still just as sweet and beautiful. She just has a really pleasant tone or timbre to her singing voice, which is why she is as successful as she is. All right. So I wanted to see about the children's chorus, just to bring that up again, just to point out again that tone, the sound of a children. It's a little bit more forced, straightforward. There's also a little bit more air to the tone of the voices. Yeah, so that's my guess, is that it's a children's chorus and it's used perfectly. Oh, there are just so many fun aspects in this song. All right, so here's this transition again. I wanted to go back to that again too. It's so smooth. That's it. So they're using the drums and then a couple of almost orchestral sounds in the background. We almost lose tonality for a while where it's just percussion, and that's sort of what gives us that little, what do you call it? A fade in and out, a fade transition. It's so clever. And it leaves you sitting there on the edge of your seat, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then when the tonality of the piece does come back in, you're like, yeah, that was so cool. It is so cool. Let's hear it again. With the piano in there. Okay. See, we almost lose tonality. And now we're in the new key. Crowd surfing. Oh, right. Okay, and so right before she came in with her amazing upper range there, you heard a couple of really great brass runs right there, probably French horn, really fantastic stuff. I'm sure all of the musicians in the London Phil were like, this is pretty cool, as they were playing it. You know, in orchestras, sometimes we play stuff that's like, and London Phil is like, oh, we're going to record some music for a rock band. Okay. And then they're like, hey, this is pretty great. You know, I'm sure that was the experience. So now let's hear her. Let's continue on and hear that amazing upper range, because it is just out of this world. Excellent. And then we transition back into the A theme again. Fantastic. And what is that note up there? An F. So I remember she hit an F and even an A flat at one point in Ghost Love's score. And in fact, what is it that she hits at the end? was another F, but in her chest voice. Amazing. Okay, so that is reaction number 2 to Nightwish on the channel. Again, not at all a disappointment. A lot of fun. Amazing talent. Excellent show. There's so much substance to this music, and this is just the tip of the iceberg for me, so I'm so excited about this. How many times am I going to say that I'm so excited? I don't care, because that's how excited I am. So yeah, we're going to move on to the next. I'm going to keep going in this journey. How can I not? And again, all of you that showed up from the Nightwish army, every one of you was appreciated. I tried to read as many of those comments as I could, but there are just a lot of you out there. It's a big army. So this is just a really great experience, and I'm very thankful for it. So thank you, everybody. We're still going to admire Floor and the other musicians in this band. Again, it's their turn. I want to learn more, and I have heard about the previous singer, Tarja. I haven't heard her sing yet, and I would like to at some point as well. And because there's room for everybody, it's all part of this group's history, and I am here for it. This is going to be really fun. Again, I'm really excited. So again, thank you everybody for being here and experiencing this with me. Don't forget to do all the things if you haven't already, like and subscribe. You can support the channel over on Patreon or through Ko-fi, or you can become a channel member here on YouTube. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay and keep listening.